And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning. Welcome to the Market Forecast, and happy Valentine's Day. Yes, it's Monday, February the 14th. Hopefully you've had a good weekend and are enjoying the beginning of your Valentine's Day. Congratulations to the LA Rams, and from my point, mostly Matthew Stafford. He's had a long road to the Super Bowl. I'm glad he finally got his, but I was really kind of hoping that the Bengals were gonna win last night. As far as the markets are concerned, we've got a lot of edgy markets this morning. Economic releases, nothing very impactful this morning. It's almost like Valentine's Day is a national holiday. But we do have a lot going on this week. We have the Fed's Bullard, who was chirping last week about looking for a full percentage point increase in interest rates by July 1st, even talking about acting between meetings. As far as anything else today, nothing all that impactful. We got a 3-month and a 6-month bill auction. Tomorrow, PPI final is due out at 7:30. Empire State Manufacturing Index also due out. Wednesday, retail sales. That's going to be a big one. We're going to see if how inflation is affecting retail sales, import-export prices, industrial production, business inventories, housing market index, the EIA petroleum status report, and FOMC minutes, all on Wednesday. Thursday, housing starts and permits, jobless claims as usual, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, EIA natural gas. Bullard speaks again on Thursday. Lots of short time frame bill auctions. And Loretta Meester speaks at the end of the day. Friday, existing home sales, a couple of talking feds throughout the day. Misleading indicators also due out on Friday. So there's a lot of information due out this week, just not today. Of course, the focus is of course and the fears of the Russia hostilities in Ukraine. It really has the markets on edge. I just keep praying for peace and a peaceful outcome for this. What a better day to ask for love to take over than Valentine's Day. Little breaking news here this morning. Russia has stated there's always a chance for talks and agreement. So that took our markets from lower this morning to back to kind of higher just for a brief period of time. Looks like things are coming off or again already. Earnings continue this week. Nothing really impactful releasing today. Crude prices at another 7-year high as concerns about Russian imports crest in the event of sanctions, in the event of an invasion of Ukraine. Of course, volatility can explode in a heartbeat. There's a lot of uncertainties out there. We don't know the outcome of these things that are going to happen. Make sure you're using stops. Make sure you're using stop markets. Stop markets. You may not get your price, but at least you're going to get out. There's going to be a lot of slippage if things start to go a little haywire in these markets. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button, Share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome here at the Market Forecast. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get notifications when we do go live. We do have group coaching today. That's at 1 p.m. Central. I'm going to put the link in so you can register. I always look forward to those opportunities to spend time talking to traders. And so there's that. It's Monday. We also do those on Wednesdays, same time, 1 o'clock p.m. Central. It's unfortunately going to be right when the FOMC minutes come out, but who knows how that's going to impact markets. And we'll probably start it just a few minutes late so we can have any responses that we want to as far as anything that the minutes release or the minutes, whatever they say. VIX up almost 7% this morning, 29.27, back up near $30 index, 96.22, up slightly from the close on Friday, and the 10-year yield holding just under 2% at 1.97%. All right, I'm going to say good morning. Scott saw and he conquered. First in the room, Scott wins the prize today. Denny, Rick, my brother, I love you. Spencer, Theo, Jeff, Brian, Spencer talking about the Bengals. Yeah, it was a heck of a game. I mean, it was a game the whole way through. I enjoyed it, although it didn't have the outcome. But I didn't have any risk in the game. Robert, good morning. Alfred, Vince, good morning. Terry, Dave, Mirik, Isaac, Devant, Ronald, good morning. Zerain, Janus, Galen, Sarah, good morning and a happy sunrise to you. Luis, Jeff, good morning. Equanimous, top of the morning to you. Andres, good morning. Ocean Blue, good morning. Thanks for the hearts. Love that. What a swing last night. Ron, Tito, good morning from France. Good morning, Sarah. Robert, Shaw, Bullard. Bullard is chirping right now, this minute on CNBC. All right, well, we got to see what happens here in these markets. Mr. Fox, good morning. Three Lines Insight. Jerry is awake. Hope I am too. Expediter Dean, Shaw. Yeah, I'm sure. Putting just wants oil prices up. Probably has a lot to do with it. That's most of his economy. I expected you to be dressed in pink and red. Well, I thought about it, but I don't really have too much pink and red in my closet here. France, good morning. Slippage is being better than being underwater for sure. Ray, good morning. Frederico. Thank you, Sarah. You're very kind to me. I feel you. Systems analyst, good to see you. Wen, PBJ, Carol, AB, Deanna, good morning. No new sightings. Keeping the domesticated and the non-domesticated apart from each other. Stephen, Robert T. J. Medi, good morning. Though it's evening there, well, good evening to you. Eagle Flying, love that name. Weekly kickoff levels are the same as last week, and they are. We're going to see that in the charts here. The weekly kickoff low from last week is yet to be accepted down below in longer time frame. That's why I tend to leave those that way. We do find acceptance down below that. There is a possibility of a change in market state. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Dimitri. From the Philippines, good morning. All right. So let's jump into the charts here. Let me get things set up. All right, we're going to start with the S&Ps, as usual. Okay. I need to get my glasses on here so I can see everything. So We have an accumulation of sellers on Friday. Volume was pretty decent, not absolutely great for a down day, but still some increasing volume. We added 33,000 in open interest on this down day. So while we had hollow moves to the upside, we're starting to see some teeth to the downside here. The increase in open interest on a down day may be indicating an accumulation of sellers or new shorts on Friday. If those new shorts are longer time frame, we've got a little bit of an issue. Weekly kickoff low is in play today. It was tested in extended trading hours. And as we all are, investors are nervous. They're waiting for information. There's a hair trigger. Okay. If something happens, the volatility can spike instantly. And again, I suggest make sure you're patient, look for good trades, look for good opportunities. They're there, but make sure you limit your risk. Make sure you use stops. Russia's Lavrov has said he can see a way to move forward with talks. So that's what kind of pulled us off of our lows this morning, and we seem to be waiting for new information in that regard. Those comments really popped price back into value. Take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Okay. So we had a test of weekly kickoff low. This is also a previous naked point of control. The market tends to target those, and sometimes they can be decent opportunities for us to look for exits and or entries. Market has pulled back into range and into value from Friday. So the question then is, what's going to happen? We can't foresee any news events, any headline events that come out. We just have to be prepared for them. What I see in this market is if we stay inside range and value, there's a potential for a repair day above where we are right now. Down below where we are, we can see a market state change, and we can see an acceleration to the downside upon acceptance below weekly kickoff low, which again is 43.61, remains from last week. We did not get a true test of it. We tested it last night. It's been rejected with what? News. Somebody said something, and that pushed the market back into range and value. The market is sitting, waiting for new news. Maybe it's our news, maybe it's the media that has everybody all up in arms about what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So everybody is sitting here with their finger on a hair trigger, and I'm going to really try and stay patient, because if volatility spikes instantly, it's going to be very difficult to have any kind of strategy with which to depend on to look for good opportunities. We spike in volatility instantly. I'm going to probably just be out of everything and watch the fireworks and wait for something that makes sense to me, instead of being overexcited and trying to jump into something just because I see that there's big opportunity, but there's also huge risk. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but I know it sounds like a lot more fun if I don't lose a whole bunch of money because of some sort of volatile event. So here we are. We're going to open maybe in range, maybe in value, kind of no overnight inventory now. We're just sitting here waiting for somebody to say something to give us some direction. And that direction is going to come fast. Let's take a look at crude oil now. Just about to open up. We just opened up, actually. So crude up near that $95 weekly kickoff low that a couple of weeks ago my cohorts in the office told me I was crazy Well, there it is, 94.94. Happened in the overnight. Okay. Well, we know that markets don't like to leave new all-time highs or new recent highs in the overnight. That's one thing for us. Volume and open interest are blurry. It is roll week. Thursday, we should be trading. Well, we'll be watching volume, of course, but Thursday we may be trading April. Let's see, January, February, March, April. Yes, April is the next month. So we've got a situation where, of course, we know that our longer time frame traders are more interested in looking for this is not right, in looking for these are wrong, 88.5. How did I miss those? We know that our longer time frame traders are looking for the opportunity to get a cheap rollover. If the world doesn't give them that opportunity, that's going to be hard on them. But we're going to see if maybe they can remain a little bit non-directional here. Anything, of course, can happen. A lot of big uncertainties out there, of course. 30-minute chart. The market opening with some overnight shorts in this market. We got these all right. We've got the market opening in range and in value, potential repair. This is a very toothy profile. As long as we remain in here, we can fix up some of this unfinished business here. But again, I'm going to try and stay patient. The market's in range and in value. It's seeking a new impetus to move value one way or another. Take a look at the 1 minute chart here. Okay, the opening range trade is, wow, pretty small opening range, 15 ticks. We've looked out below it. But again, with the market in range and in value, I think that the probability of an opening range trade remaining successful for the entire session is unlikely without some sort of new news. So again, I'm going to try and stay patient. So far, we've got the breakout to the downside. We're only risking maybe 18 ticks on this trade. Is it worth it? Is the question. Let's move on to the Nasdaq now. The Nasdaq's been presenting as weaker the entire time. The S&Ps are basically trading right around the 10% off the all-time highs. Nasdaq still trading around the 15% off the all-time high. We have an open interest accumulation again on Friday, just like the S&Ps, 7,500 increase in open interest in the Nasdaq on a little bit higher volume. New sellers coming into the marketplace. Okay, now we've got, a deeper test below weekly kickoff low, okay, which is 14,214. Last week's low tested below it, closed above it again. So we don't really have a true acceptance down below that level here just yet. Lots of nerves, investors on edge. Everybody's got a hair trigger. Anything that comes out, what's the response going to be? Is it going to be higher? Is it going to be lower? Is it going to go both ways? I don't know. Nobody does. Nothing could happen. We don't know. So here we are. Overnight inventory slightly to the short side, I would say right now. We're basically inside range and inside value from Friday. If we open with a gap, that might provide some opportunity. We've got no spike, no real value area special situation. We're just kind of hanging here waiting for new information and right at an important inflection level. Patience, ladies and gentlemen. Like the S&Ps, I see potential repair above, and with acceptance below weekly kickoff, I see a potential market state change from kind of range bound back to the downside. Checking into the gold now. So Friday on really good volume and a big increase in open interest. The fear coming back into the marketplace. Big up day, big open interest increase. This is a good sign for a continuation of an upside auction. Remember, we're looking for volume, which is the engine of price, open interest, which gives us the idea that the market is increasing in interest in that direction. We have new buyers coming into the market, new business. That's what it takes to break out or to continue a market. Right now, it looks somewhat healthy. And looking at that overnight low kind of across this trend line here, looking at that as somewhat pivotal today. I'm probably going to be with the volume and in the open interest increase on Wednesday. I'm probably going to be looking for opportunities to buy weakness if I get the chance. Many global uncertainties. Remember, in periods of uncertainty, gold has been the store of value that has tested it's withstood the test of time. Lots of speculation in cryptos, and they may be helpful or good in storing value. But if it comes down to something tangible, gold, silver, those have been the stores of value. What's the 30-minute look like? Double distribution. This late spike actually happened post-close, but look at the volume on it. Okay, this was at 12:30 to 1 o'clock on Friday. This is a late spike. Look at with the volume on that. This is, continuation. Settlements all the way down here. But once the regular trading hour market basically technically closed, that's when the volume came in and we have a late spike. So the base of that late spike, excuse me, is 1843. 1843. It's five years before the foundation of the Chicago Board of Trade in 1848. We've got overnight mixed. We've got a market that is attempting to reject value instead of coming back and repairing this. It's attempting to reject it. We got the high from last week right here. What's to say this market can't come up and test our weekly kickoff low at 1882? 1882. There it is. I'm not sure, but I believe we saw the opening range left at the low of the session or relatively close to it. It's becoming a question of, are we going to accept or reject last week's Friday's value area? Spencer looks set to break out. And of course, news, somebody saying something can change everything. Now to the euro. Okay. We lost open interest on Friday, 4,900. So Margo was kind of losing open interest and losing volume at these highs. Got a little bit of a spike in volume as we started to move back to the downside, but we lost open interest. Dare I say we're in short time frame control here? Does it make sense? Well, I'm afraid it's going to have to. Look where we are. A month of range here, a month of hanging around here. We came back to it and hung around. We're gonna hang around here now. What about all the uncertainties? What about the euro? What about the dollar? What about all this sitting here waiting for new news? Short time frame control. Dare I say it? Double distribution trend day opened with a gap. Didn't maybe, I don't know if it did it close the gap. If it did, it found Friday's range to be repulsive, if you will. There's oodles, and that's an industry term, of visual targets down below. All that range-bound activity left a lot of unfinished business. So if we can't go up and get back into range from yesterday, then we'll look to kind of clear up some of this information, some of these leftover naked points of control and gaps down below. If we do accept back in range, if we accept back in value, that's the value area special situation play that may bring us back to value high from Friday. We got a ways to go before that even happens. The 10-year. I think rates are largely priced in for now. We'll have to see what the Fed talking Feds have to say today and later on in the week. The yield on the 10-year has settled just below $2. Lots of folks worried about the yield curve inverting. We're not there yet. Fed rhetoric is, of course, key in this. This move off the lows from last week lost 42,000, I should say, in open interest. Some short covering here, a little profit taking here off this low. I would have to say quite possibly. 30-minute chart. Okay. So overnight inventory, nah. The market opening in range, in value, stay patient, better trade locations are likely to come. They're likely to come as the day goes on. We got one day inside range and value. Are we falling into balance here to sit here and wait for new business, new information? I'd say there's a high probability of that. How about the nat gas? Okay, it looks like we've got a little gap higher. Makes sense. It's a new week. Brings new data. The Russia-Ukraine situation, of course, putting pressure on a lot of commodities, particularly some of our energies. Overnight low. Okay. Looks open interest. We lost open interest on Friday. Of course, it was a down week. We probably had some shorts, take some profits into the weekend with lots of uncertainties coming in to the weekend. Those uncertainties still remain. Here's the 30-minute chart. Okay, it looks like we've opened with a gap. If we can't close the gap relatively early, this was prior to the open. This is the 7 o'clock bar. 8 o'clock bar remains with a gap. If we can't close the gap, we're looking for opportunities to bring this market higher. 42.50. Last week's weekly kickoff low is this week's weekly kickoff high. If we get back above that, that might be an interesting opportunity because this market has a tendency to do this, I see. We have a potential 3-day island low. If we can't close this gap, a 3-day island low could push us higher. All right, let's jump in. All right, so we've got our tasks set out for us this week. Be good to yourselves. Be good to your loved ones. It's Valentine's Day. I got lots of love for you. Looking forward to a challenging trading week, but of course, my main focus and prayer is for peace It's 2022. Can't we be more enlightened than actually going in and tearing up a whole country, a bunch of people? It's terrible. That's my first deep breath. Let's take our deep breath. Make sure you're humble, grateful, and creative in your trading today. We don't know what's going to happen. Be prepared. Use stops. Deanna, I did see 3 coyotes out behind my fence on Saturday night, but it was very late. There's still a snow cover, so we were able to see them. So Lacey was long in bed, so I went outside with a strong flashlight, and I was flashing a flashlight at them, and you can see their eyes looking back at you. So I could see those 3 green eyes kind of looking around, and what is that? What is that? So, all right. Get out there and profit today. I'll see you for group coaching. I'll see you for the recap today. It'll be interesting to see what happens and how these markets respond. Looking forward to seeing everybody back here 3 o'clock for the market recap. Anything else? Anything else? No. If you see Cupid, let him get you. Trade well today, everybody. Have a great trading day, and love everybody. Take care.